Alright guys, so here we've got our second video where we can go ahead and do the rest of the problems. Alright, so this one is a little bit different because it is no longer centered at the origin. I now have numbers up top. Before I just would have had x squared over 16 plus y squared over 9. But now I have numbers right here. Those are my h and k. Those are my center. So my center is at 2, 1. Because these are the opposites, because this is x minus h and y minus k. So these are going to be the opposite signs of whatever's up here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to 2, 1 right here and place my center. I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of both of these terms on the bottom. So this one's going to be 4. So the square root of 16 is 4 and the square root of 9 is 3. The 4 right here is underneath the x, so that's telling me that along my x-axis, I'm going plus and minus 4 from my center. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Because that right there is showing me that my a is going to be 4. And a squared is 16. So the square root of 16, the square root of a squared is a. Okay? Then I'm going to go ahead and take this one right here. The 3 is underneath my y, so that means I'm going up and down because my y-axis is up and down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and mark what these are. My vertices. Since they're no longer at 0, 0, I cannot do the plus or minus at this point. Right here, I'm going to have to do a coordinate point of -2 and 1, and a coordinate point of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 and 1 as well. So those are my vertices. My co-vertices are going to be at 2, -2, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 4. Okay, so 2, -2, 2, 4. Now I have to find my foci, which in order to do that, I need to solve for c squared to get c. So we've got 16 minus 9, because remember, it's a squared minus b squared, so it's always your bigger number minus your smaller number. So that's going to get me 7. So c is going to equal the square root of 7. I can't reduce that, so I leave that as is. Now if I look and I compare both of my vertices to my center, one of these numbers is consistent, 1, 1, 1. So that means that right here my x value is the one that's changing. And that makes sense if I look right here along my major axis. I know this is my major because this is 4 and this is 3, so this is the longer one. I can go ahead and look. All of these coordinate points, each x value will be different. Each y value will stay the same at +1. So I take my center, my 2, I add and I subtract that c value. So it's my center plus and minus c. And I keep the 1. Okay? Oh, I gotta draw the circle or ellipse. Almost better. All right. So this one just looks just a little bit different. Most everybody today, when I did that in class, understood that this was going to be over 1. There was a few people who didn't know, and there was a few people that thought maybe 0. Just to reiterate, I can never divide by 0. If I divide it by 0, I have an undefined. If I divide by 1, it doesn't change anything. So here, if I take the square root of both of these, I've got 5, and the square root of 1 is 1. So I've got my center, which is located at the opposites of these. So -1, +2. So I'm going to go -1, +2. And then I'm going to look right here This is changing along my x. So this means horizontally, I'm going to go 5 to the right and 5 to the left from my center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So I've got my vertices. So let me go ahead and label those here. These are going to be at 4, 2, and this one will be at -6, 2. Okay. Oh, wrong button. There. All right. Then my co-vertices. I know I changed up the numbers, or the colors. Sorry, guys. Co-vertices. Right here, my smaller number, and it's on my y, so it means I'm going up 1 and down 1 from my center. So those are going to be located at -1 and 1, 2, 3, +3, and -1 and +1. Okay. Now to find my foci, I got to do c squared, which is 25 minus 1, which is 24. So c equals the square root of 24. Can I reduce it? Yes. 24 is evenly divisible by 4. So square root 4, square root 6. The square root of 4 is 2. And so I've got square root 2, square root 6. If you're ever not 100% sure, you can plug whatever you simplified to into the calculator and see if you get the exact same decimal as you would for square root 24. If I put 2 square root 6 in the calculator and then I put square root 24 in the calculator, they would be identical decimals. So I know I did it right. I can always check that work. So now I've got to figure out what the foci. Obviously horizontally is which side is bigger, and I can tell that here because my bigger number is underneath the x. So the one that's going to be changing is my x value. So I'm going to take that x value from my center, that -1, and I'm going to go plus or minus c, which we found to be 2 square root 6, and I keep the 2. Okay? If I was to take 2 square root 6 and put that in my calculator, I would get 4.8989. So we'll just say 4.9 for the sake of it. So that means I'm going to go right and left 4.9 from my center. So 1, 2, 3, 4.9. So it's just shy. And 1, 2, 3, 4.9. So you can see right here how close the foci are to my vertices, and then how far away they were here. Oh, hey, I never drew them. Here, I got square root 7. Sorry, I apologize. It's a learning process, right? Square root 7, I've got 2.65. That's going to be right here. I'm going to be going on my x value. I'm going to be going horizontal, 2.6, 1, 2, 3. So right about in the middle of that, and 1, 2, 3. So right about in the middle of that. So you can compare, the foci here are much further away from the vertices than they are here. And that's controlling how narrow that is. So the closer the foci are to my vertices, the more narrow my ellipse is, and the more close the foci are to the center, the more circular I'm going to be. Okay? All right. And let's just connect the dots. Eventually I'll get the hang of drawing a circle or ellipse. I don't know when, but at some point in time in my life. All right.